Hello and welcome to this pick a card reading all about integrating the shadows. I thought this is a really good time to do something like this as we are out of Scorpio season, the season of death and transformation, and into Sagittarius. We have mutable fire. We have this dreamy, explorative, adventurous energy coming in. And it's shifting us away from the deep, dark depths that Scorpio loves to be in, loves to go investigate. It's bringing us back up with this like aiming, the bow and arrow, this aiming, this archer of like where we want to go. So this is just a bit of insight and guidance into really what you can do to help integrate that shadow work that you have been doing or that has been forced upon you, even if you have not actively been like wanting to do it in Scorpio season, and how to just best bring yourself into alignment so that you can take that bow and arrow and shoot it, like aim with precision and not be all shaky and like all that stuff. So there are 3 piles to choose from, 1, 2, and 3. Timestamps are in the description box below so you can skip ahead to your reading. Remember, this is a collective reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If you want something that is really aimed at your human experience and deeply connected to you, please reach out for a one-to-one reading. You'll find all my details down there as well as all the other stuff that I do that you can have a look at. Follow me on socials, do all that great stuff. And I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile 1. If you pick this card, this is your reading for integrating the shadow, and we have Joan of Arc with faith. So this aspect here of that faith, that renewal, that hope really coming in for you, and this is what's going to help you and come out of you also with this integrating of those darker aspects of whatever has come up in Scorpio season. It will have activated faith within you, and whether it's because you're already like, yeah, the faith is coming back, I can feel it, I'm really leaning into that to guide you forwards, or if it's something that has just potentially been activated within you that you're like you can't see yet, and that's what we're having to lean into is pure faith, like really trusting in this process and having faith that things will turn out in a way that truly serves you. May not be the way you want it, but it will be the best thing for you. When we don't get things that we want, it's not because Spirit's saying, I don't know, like you're bad and you can't have it. It's because Spirit is always saying there's something better for you. I have something more in alignment. I have something that is so much grander than what you're dreaming of. Because Spirit is not like cruel for cruel's sake as such, but this is very much leaning into that faith. It's bringing in like the star card in tarot, which is all about that faith and purpose and renewal. So there really is this like deep rebirth that will have occurred for you during this Scorpio season, and now we're in Sag. So we have the Hierophant and the Devil like bordering around this Page of Pentacles in the reverse. So these 2 major arcana that are here, and we've got the Hierophant, which is this like traditional values, it's institutions, it's conformity, and then we have the Devil, and the Devil brings in this energy of like the shadow and our attachments and how either our addictions or how we're restricting ourselves too much, and it brings in like, it's not bad, it's just leaning into the negative connotations of things and how they don't serve us. This is the type of stuff that is stripped away during Scorpio season, especially if we lean into it. And you've got these 2 major arcana bracketing around, like holding this Page of Pentacles in the reverse. And the Page of Pentacles is one that is all about this like manifestation, new opportunity, and very worldly matters energy, but it's not in its power position, it's upside down. And with that, there's this like lack of progress and also lack of planning. It's very short-term focus instead of long-term focus, and that will link into this faith element for you, where without that faith there's not that ability to believe in long-term thinking, because you're so wrapped up in the present and just kind of surviving day to day. And this is what we kind of want to shift you out of. So the more you lean into having faith that everything is going to turn out and work out for you, the more we get your Page of Pentacles in the upright. And the 2 things, it's like here that are like, it feels like a restriction. So there's two things restricting you that need to be like truly integrated from the shadow self and really worked with in order to really bring you like into the light. Is any of this shadow stuff, the attachments, the addictions, anything that is keeping you bound, that still has a hold on you, anything that you haven't left in Scorpio season that truly needs to be left behind. And then the Hierophant here is like, it's conformity, it's traditional like beliefs and values. In the reverse it can talk of like this challenging of that, but in the upright it's got more of that like, it's what you've learned, and whether that comes through schooling or religious institutions or even just your parents, it's things that you've learned that don't help you, that are linked here to this tie, this binding stuff that you've learned, programming and stuff like that, that's come in, that's linked here to this devil energy, that's like it's restricting you. And we want this, like, you have to have faith in more, you have to have faith in your ability to break free to truly be able to break free from it. So for you, this integrating of the shadow is definitely something in regards to this like shift out of whatever Scorpio season brought up for you, and really like letting it, like leaving it behind in the shadows, because it's not to be brought forward into the light for you. Like you're heading towards this like beautiful, like this glow up, and like even the colors resonating a bit here of this glow, and it comes through having pure faith in the process, having pure faith in spirit, in the divine, in your higher self, in the stuff that is coming through. Let's get some more cards for you, pile one. We have Cracked Open, Rock Bottom, Surrender to the Alchemy of Life. And then the Courageous Peony, Multifaceted, Unique Nature, Let Yourself Be Seen. So there's this like breaking forwards aspect, this coming into the light, and this is where that attachment aspect. So for you, this integrating the shadows truly is about like breaking free of those attachments that have come to pass in Scorpio season, that you just may not have fully made the break with, that are still lingering, that are still there. It's about breaking those bonds, those ties, and truly letting it go in a way where this part, the Cracked Open, Rock Bottom, Surrender to the Alchemy of Life, you really have to let yourself hit that bottom point so you can crack open, so you can be reborn in this beautiful way, in this courageous way, and have your unique nature show through. And there's something in regards to your lack of faith, something where you're not quite believing in a better outcome, that's keeping you attached to that devil stuff, that's really not serving you. So like, to really integrate your shadow is to do this final part of the shadow work, is to come out of the shadows. And if you have been doing, if you're like, I have been doing that, then this is just the indication that this is that movement for you, that with that faith, you're really going to see your Page of Pentacles come back online, where you're going to have this ability to like plan long term and move forward and progress and manifest the things you want in the human realm, in your 3D reality, because things will be activated and come back online. So a lot of faith, a lot of trust is definitely guiding you forwards with this. Let's get another card for you. We have the never-ending story, but it's in the reverse. This is because whatever these stories, this chains, these links, this story, this pattern that you have been repeating time again throughout your life, now is the time to be done with it. Because do you want to just keep riding this shitty ride in different, like, it's like you're jumping on, is it a carousel? Is that what they're called? But like, it may look different every time. Maybe one's pink, one's purple, one's multicolored, but it's the same fucking ride. It's just like painted differently, and you keep doing the same things because there's this like refusal to truly learn the lesson, to break the ties. Stop going with what you know and repeating the same patterns. You have to have faith in more. You have to have faith in something different, something better. Be courageous enough to know that on the other side of this, in that discomfort, is the freedom that you really seek. So you can cut this story, you can be done with it. Like, be done with it. This is what's going to serve you the most. Let's get some more cards for you, pile one. We have Mortar and Pestle, Integration, Subtlety and Thoroughness. this is a process. This is that, like, this is methodical. It is slow. There are faster ways in the world now to do this. And this is about going back to like old ways and having like that, as it says, integration, subtlety, and thoroughness with this. Go back and double check all the chains are broken. Where you thought it made, like, I did that, I broke that chain, and you've actually like not quite done the job properly. That's where these things are still lingering. The devil still has its hooks in. And also integrating the lessons that you've learned. The lessons may have come up, you may have broken the chains, but you haven't truly integrated everything that you've learned. And this is that process. Like, have faith. The more you have faith, the more this will transition. But this does definitely talk about this integration period being like it's methodical, it's slow. And the Page of Pentacles, the Pentacles in general, are a slow suit. So this is setting you up for long-term stability, but you have to trust in the fact that there is a slower moving process with it now. Let's get you one final card. Which deck do I want? Let's go this one. One final card for pile one, please. We have expansion. So a beautiful last like omen coming through with that. Saying and indicating there is going to be this growth, this movement, this expansion for you. And it's going to lie in the thoroughness to ensure that this shadow stuff is really done. Like cutting all those ties, doing the work, really allowing everything so you can be born in a, like, burst forward in this courageous, like, peony way here. Faith is the biggest thing. Believe in the expansion, believe in better, believe in your growth, believe in your potential, believe in like you being guided towards better things. Trust the process as much as you can. This is what will really help you integrate the shadows, is trusting on the light at the other side. Trust, belief, faith. I would recommend, if you have a tarot set, put the star card on an altar space or your bedside table, use it as a bookmark, do something like that. Just keep the star card around you, which is the the card about hope and faith and purpose and renewal, and just let that energy like be with you at all times. Right, I will leave it there for you, pile one. If you would like to reach out for a one-to-one reading or energy healing session or anything like that, my details are in the description box below. And if you liked this, then please do the whole like, share, comment, subscribe, do all those stuff. Do all those stuff, that's bad English. Do all that stuff, it's truly appreciated. And I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pile two. If you pick this card, then you have 𝐶𝐞𝐫, I think is how you say it, with pleasure. And this is how you're going to integrate your shadow. So it is going to be leaning into pleasure, to sensuality, to joy, to what lights you up, to what turns you on. It's leaning into what makes you feel good. Like this integration of the shadows, it's like you've been in the depths, you've been in the darkness, you've been in the discomfort, and now it's like saying to you, like, you've done the work, you've put the effort in, and now you can actually kind of just lay back and enjoy yourself. Like, bring in pleasure, and pleasure is different for all of us. So however, if whatever instantly came to your mind in regards to pleasure, that's probably what you should lean into. For some people, it's a really decadent, beautiful, lovely meal. For some people, pleasure is just this, you know, like bed rotting. That is pleasure to some people. Netflix binge, walk in nature. Do you know what I mean? It can be anything. And then obviously you can move towards the more sensual stuff in regards to pleasure, if that is what is coming up for you. Whatever it is though, this is what is wanting to come forwards for you. This is what will help you really integrate your shadows, is moving from that pain to pleasure. Shadows to light. Just bring in that joy, that spark, that yumminess. Right, let's get some tarot for you, pile two. We have the Hierophant. Okay, we'll go for all of them. We have not had that many cards for pile one, but shh, don't tell them. Unless you came over from pile one, in which case you know the truth. They're all gonna fit. It's gonna have to be like this. Okay, so we have, really interesting, we have 3 6s here, these two in the reverse, and then the 6 of cups here in the upright. And so that was instantly my focus, the 6 6 6 coming through. These two in the reverse, and just where I happen to place them, it's like these two are kind of together. And the Six of Wands in the reverse is all about this like step back out of like this for like the limelight. And then the Six of Pentacles is a card in the reverse that talks about this like one-sidedness. Things aren't in flow, there's not an equal give and take. And so there's this element here of like, I feel like this is what you're shifting like out of and away from, is something that has been really, really imbalanced, that has caused you to step away from the limelight. And when I say limelight, it literally could mean stepping off of the main stage, stepping away from your social media, something like that. Or it could just mean that you've just taken a back seat. You haven't been seeing your friends as much. You've just been like wanting more solitude and alone time, and just taking that aspect, like that withdrawal, because things have not been balanced or fair or equal in some way. That has that, and that lack of balance has caused you to withdraw. Hierophant here, and the Hierophant is all about this like traditional values, and because there's like this religious beliefs and like this conformity in institutions that can come through with the Hierophant, it's like this is linked back to the way in which you have been brought up, essentially, and the way in which you view things. But there's this movement out of shadow into light, and this Hierophant that's holding this key, this movement forwards in regards, and it just feels like this shift in regards to how you see things from how things were before. There's a whole shift in your like ethics, the whole shift in your belief system. This Scorpio season has really, really moved you, changed you, shifted you into ways, into a whole new way of being. And then with this Nine of Pentacles in the reverse that talks about this, like, it's this over investment in work, it's over investment in things of a physical nature, to try, like, because it's like trying to build towards luxury, it's trying to build towards having things. And in the reverse, it's this like, you've potentially been overworking in ways that aren't serving you. And with this coming out of this, just like, this is what I feel like is being up for negotiation. Like this, the way in which you work in the world is part of what needs to shift and change. And because that's about this, what has been contributing to this lack of balance. And there's this like new belief system coming forwards through the stuff you have learned through Scorpio season. And so integrating the shadows for you is leaning into pleasure and not working quite so hard. And this could just mean like trying to, I don't know, convincing your boss to have a 4-day work week instead of a 5-day work week. It might be deciding to go part-time in a job, knowing that that's what you can do, or just working less hours if you're self-employed, something like that, where you're just like, I can't keep giving to the extent that I'm giving because it's not serving me. And this is why there has been a step back, or needs to be a step back even. It may be that this is all the stuff that you need to do to integrate your shadow, is bring in more fun, bring in more pleasure, bring in more downtime, bring in more relaxing time, bring in things that serve you instead of just working. We then have the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups is the one in the upright. And this is a card that talks about this nostalgia, this, it can go back to childhood memories and this innocence. But there's this like, these two figures, these children here, like this cup that they're holding, and it just feels as if there's this like, this integrating of the shadows for you is very much an integration of your inner child, and how your child like wants to be present with you. How are the way in which we enjoy pleasure is generally linked to the things we liked as a child, because as a child, like, hopefully, depending on your circumstances, there was much more, you know, innocence and freedom, and we were just able to play and experience things how we just wanted, because we haven't been programmed and stuff like that by society and by schooling and blah blah blah. And there's this element of your inner child's truth coming through in this integration that's really going to guide you forwards. And part of that is on this like looking back, but there's this almost like, this looks like a rainbow, there's just so much joy, flowers, beauty in this, that this rebirth is really, really, really linking you back, and there's a healing of that inner child. So your integrating of the shadows is integrating like that wounded child, and like bringing it forward in a way that like is bringing forward this beauty of the healed child, so it can guide you into what sparks you up and brings you joy. We have 𝑒𝑟𝑖𝑡 for you, longing for home, homesick for the stars, and then child of the cosmos. So interesting with that child element coming through with that child of the cosmos card. And 𝑒𝑟𝑖𝑡 is a beautiful Welsh word that I am probably saying wrong. And longing for home and homesick for the stars is this, like, that element here, especially with that nostalgia of looking back and shifting out of how things were and how you grew up in ways, how life has seemed, the programming that you have, and like making that shift now into something more secure, into something that can really, this, it's like that child has grown up into this adult, and there's this, like, the whole universe lies within, there's this light up, this spark up, and this is coming through the pleasure element. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. There's just this activation, this tapping back into that joy, that spark through this. So what will really help with this integration, what will really help this process, and what will really help any last bits that you really need to go into with your inner child is not so much the inner child healing of going into those uncomfortable places. That may have been a lot of the stuff that came up in Scorpio season. What it is for you now is actually leaning into, well, what actually brings your inner child joy? What sparks them up? What sparks you up as your adult self? Like, what brings you that? Move out of the shadow into the light, knowing that you've done enough work now. And if you're like, I haven't done enough work, then that is obviously your indication to do the work. But if you've done the work, it's saying, like, okay, now time for light, now time for joy, now time to bring that in, that spark, that lightness. And we have yang here. Yang is the masculine energy. It's active, it's fiery, it's passionate, it's driven, it's that movement and push forwards. And look at the, like, it leans into that, like, I want your pleasure to come through from the divine feminine, from that really receptive, like, inner knowing, that trusting from the heart space. But like, it needs to come forward in a way that lights you up, that is active, that you are actively pushing and doing stuff towards. So this is something you have to, the pleasure in regards to this yang is something that you actively have to have, like, that willpower, that inspiration to act upon. So movement forwards in that way. Don't just be like, oh, I really dream of this. It's like actually putting in the plans, the effort to do it this Sagittarius season. And Sagittarius is that explorer, the adventurer. So you'll have much more of that oomph to get out there, walking stuff. So yeah, this support, encouragement, but this movement, you're supported and encouraged by spirit. Trust in that. You've got that with this walking stick, but it's also this element of walking that path forwards, movement, shifting out of old ways of being and into new ways of being, and actively utilizing the Sagittarius fire at this time for you. We also have detox that came out for you. So dandelion is a great detoxer. That's why it is there. That's why it's come up. So you could potentially use dandelion, but there's definitely like this cleansing the old ways, really putting stuff to bed so that you can be reborn, and so that you can really integrating those shadows to move into the light. So utilize dandelion, and you can just call in dandelion energy if it is not something that you want to buy or drink or source in whatever way that you source it. But just know that this aspect, integrating your shadow for you, is really leaning into pleasure zones now and detoxing and removing everything of the old ways of being that do not serve you, that you do not need to take forward, that have kept you unbalanced, that have kept you out of having that, like this, the Nine of Pentacles in the upright, which is what we want, is that culmination and luxury and gratitude for the beautiful garden we have sourced for ourselves. So really lean into this and really just believe and trust in yourself, and yeah, lean into pleasure in whatever form it looks like. Please leave a comment and let me know what pleasure, like what it is to you, what lights you up, what sparks that, what is it that you want to do. I would love to hear. If you would like a one-to-one reading, please reach out. My details are in the description box below, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pile 3. If you picked this card, this is yours for integrating the shadow. And we have Queen Yin and compassion. So sitting in that beautiful energy that she holds, which is this compassion, this tenderness, this unconditional love and holding. It's soft, it's feminine, it's nurturing, and leaning into compassion for self and also compassion for others in regards to integrating your shadow. Sitting in that softness, this like lovely, soft, open heart space where you just, it's just soft, it's calm, it flows, and just allowing that, like allowing that beautiful divine feminine energy to be with you and also be with others through you. Let's get some tarot for you, pile 3. 9 of Pentacles in the reverse, the 7 of Cups in the reverse, the Fool in the reverse. Okay, so the 9 of Pentacles is a block on this beautiful garden that you have grown for yourself. And it's because there's this like lack of this block here, and this is where the compassion is needed in regarding to integrating your shadow, is that where you've ended up, there's this like, without that compassion, you're not able to see the beauty of the garden you have landed in. You're still being too hard on yourself, or you're still being too hard on others, and until you take that like filter off, you can't see how beautiful the garden is that you are within. Is the energy kind of coming through? So like even in this depiction, like it's obviously a darker, I mean it is generally as the set, but there's this darker image, but there is these shimmers, and it's like you may be able to see the shimmers, but you've still got this like veil on that's keeping the brightness, the vastness, the beauty of what you have, where you've landed, this garden that you have found yourself in. It's being blocked to you, and the key to unveiling that, to unblocking that, is compassion, like I said, for self, for others. We have the 7 of Cups here in the reverse, and this interestingly was the card that was linked to the new moon in Scorpio we just had, that was at the end of Scorpio season. And obviously this is integrating the shadow, so this is an integration of what we have learned in Scorpio season. And the 7 of Cups is a card that is all about the temptation and illusion of what the cups offer. And we've got this emptying here, so it's leaning into the fact that you are emptying the cups of the fantasy, the illusion, the imagination, the wishful thinking of what the cups once held. There's an honesty that you're needing to have with yourself. This is all about this like clearing the veil, breaking through in this regard, but this softness coming through. Have compassion for yourself with how difficult it is to empty these cups, with how hard it is to start pouring a cup down the drain when you're like, but that, I really lent into that fantasy. I really wanted that fantasy. That illusion was something I actually desired. That wishful thinking was what was I was holding on to that. That was what was giving me hope. But it's that knowing that these have to be poured out now, that they're not actually serving you because they're blocking this fall, they're blocking this new beginning. It's holding you back. And that compassion with yourself through and being gentle and soft is how we will lift this veil. We're not just pulling it up. It is a softness, it is a gentleness, it is a tenderness. So really cool in Quinian energy. You like utilize the beauty of her energy, call her in as a guide for you at this time. We also have lost lands, soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. And then I remember. Soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. So 2 aspects here of memory, of remembering, of coming back to yourself. And then you will come back to yourself through the emptying of these cups. Like the lost lands here is like giving Atlantis vibes. It's like that got buried under water. That's bad, like way of saying that. Do you get buried underwater? But look at this, like rising up here. It just feels like this is that push upwards, and it's through emptying the water, it's through emptying the cups and bringing yourself up to dry land where you can look down on the water and see the lessons in it. This, you see the soul plan, you see the purpose in everything that you've had to let go of all of this discomfort, of everything that was here. You see that there was a plan for it, that it may have been what you wanted and desired, and the reason it didn't come to pass is because there's something better for you, there's something more aligned to you, that is more in alignment with what it is that you want. There's just been this grip on this fantasy illusion of something in the past Have compassion for yourself and softness and gentleness with yourself for this. It's okay that you're still clinging on in ways. It's okay that it's taken you this long. Be gentle with yourself and know that there is this shift coming through this gentleness. You can't force it. Be compassionate for where you are at in your journey and the time it is taking you. We have the between worlds in the reverse. So there's this block. So that block almost shows that you're still in that shadows, but we are moving in to the light. You're still in this liminal space. You are still in that discomfort. And that's why only some of the garden, there's this veil that's still there. It's like you've made it out of the shadows and into the garden, but your garden is still in shadow, and it's bringing that light through, and that comes with softness, compassion and tenderness for yourself and for others. Like I keep saying, it's depending on your situation of what you've been going through, but trust in the fact that you are in the between worlds aspect. You're not quite out of the shadows, but it's okay. The light truly is here. We have snow, rest and contemplation. So beautiful energy coming through because of this compassion, and with that, like that slowness, that softness, resting, contemplating, really leaning in to that downtime, meditation, walks in nature, bubble baths, whatever it may be. Lean into that. Be gentle with yourself in all ways. And then we have communication with St. John's wort. So St. John's wort is commonly used for like depression. So it definitely feels like this shift out of the darkness into the light, out of the negative mind space into a positive one. With that communication, it feels like that communication is coming back online with your higher self, with spirit, with that wisdom, so that that soul plan can really come through. With this, that ink and quill, is that how you say it? I would also recommend journaling at this time, really leaning into that, like a journal about compassion, journal about how you've been hard on yourself, and try to see how you can be softer and action that. Would you be this way if it was another person? That's always a great way to view things, because we're generally much harder on ourselves than we would be to a loved one. So try and view things through that lens and see how it serves you. Right, I will leave it there for you, pile 3. Please reach out if you would like some extra assistance in any way. My details are in the description box below, and you can find out more about my services. And if you liked this, please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all of those things. I truly appreciate it, and I will see you in my next reading.